Hello and welcome to your reading this evening. How are all of you? I hope you're well. I'm gonna get right into this here. I pulled some cards for you early on. Your animal cards that came through today here are the gazelle and the golden egg with octopus on the bottom of the deck, and the swan slipped out. And I wrote down some messages here for you. So I feel maybe we should read out the messages first. I got a $. I got the image of a rose, junction/juncture, ambrosia, power and calm, instep, dignity, disgust, 313, lover and hater, fire, down the line, tally, intonation, something about someone's intonation, Lebanese, maybe someone here is Lebanese or there's something Lebanese that relates to the situation, dauntless, makeup, breakup, rivalry, cavalry, indirect exposure, deacon. I don't even think I know what that word means, deacon. Actually, let me look this up here because I want to know. Deacon. In Catholic, Anglican, and Orthodox churches, an ordained minister of an order ranking below that of priest. Interesting. Maybe we're talking about a deacon here. We have simple, regal. I got the names Dennis, Denise, and Dolores. A lot of D words here. Dragon, ramification, remember, respite, and whisper. And then I got centripetal force, Rumpelstiltskin, and then the centripetal force reminded me of that song This Kiss by Faith Hill, so I looked up the lyrics. And it's about like falling in love with somebody, and the vibe of the relationship 212 on the timer feels like. So I'm going to read you this verse. Cinderella said to Snow White, "How does love get so off course? Oh, all I wanted was a white knight with a good heart, soft touch, fast horse. Ride me off into the sunset, baby. I'm forever yours. It's the way you love me. It's a feeling like this. It's centripetal motion. It's perpetual bliss. It's that pivotal moment. It's unthinkable. This kiss, unsinkable. This kiss, this kiss." So all those words I was writing down here, this sort of like lover, hater, makeup, breakup, what was the other one here? Dignity, disgust. Like there are a lot of like opposites here where it's like somebody's going back and forth between feeling like the most immense love for something or someone, and then this like disgust and, oh, why am I doing this? Like I hate that I'm in this like round and round sort of loop is what I get with the centripetal motion as well. Like a loop on a roller coaster, round and round the circle. 313, there it is on the timer. Makeup, breakup, that was the other one. It's like somebody keeps making up and breaking up is what I'm getting here. So this feels like it's going to be some kind of, definitely it's a relationship reading. So let's get into this. I was tuning into your energy, meditating just before this here, and I was feeling like you have such a big heart. But within that big heart, there's like a lot of anxiety and vulnerability is what I get here with the gazelle. It's almost like prey energy, like you feel like prey in a lot of ways in your life, whether that's you're conscious of this or this is subconscious. And I feel like you're very vigilant, you're very sensitive, and this can border on hypervigilance at times. But it's like you make yourself very vulnerable, you make yourself very open. Confirmation burp. You make yourself very open. You may relate to being somebody who enjoys your creature comforts, you know. You're a homemaker, you're very good at making a cozy home, even if you're not like a homemaker, you know, if you work and stuff, like you're still like a homemaker in that you're very capable of making a very cozy home. You're very capable of making things comfortable for people. I get that you're very like, you have like a hostess energy in like the best light where it's like you feel like the central fire or the central heart. You're like the heart of the home. Yeah, like you are that person I feel that people really are able to rely on. But at the same time, with the octopus here, it's like I feel that you have your hands in a lot of things that maybe at times it feels fulfilling, but it also drains you when you lose track of your boundaries here. So this is a lot about boundaries. This is a lot about creating healthy boundaries. I also feel that you may have a lot of people with like a lot of tentacles reaching into your space, into your energy, wanting your time, wanting your space, wanting your energy, wanting that healing force you have, because the golden egg is the highest vibration of the heart chakra. It's the fully aligned, open heart. But if we're always giving that, if we're always, expending that energy on everyone else, especially if we're somebody who's very sensitive, somebody who is very vigilant to their surroundings, this can very quickly become draining. And it can very quickly feel like our boundaries are being crossed. And so the swan slipped out underneath here to highlight this need I feel for solo time, and for you to spend some time within your own creative energy where you can mirror yourself here. Look at this swan on the water, and there's a mirror reflection of it. A place, creating space for you to be able to see yourself clearly. Because I feel that with all of this giving and all of this open-heartedness, being, a beautiful homemaker, being somebody who's, even if you're not a homemaker, just somebody who's comfortable or feels like home. Oh. Somebody just invited me to something, but I'm reading right now, right? So there's somebody, this is super interesting. So that's part of this. Even the fact that my notifications are on in this reading, it's like being accessible all the time, right? Like being accessible to people at all times. I feel this, you might relate to this. But maybe people ask you to do things with you a lot. Like maybe you have a big friend group, maybe you have a big family, and it's like you want to be able to do everything with everyone all the time, and you want to say yes, you want to be that yes person, you want to be fun, you want to be somebody who is like reliable. Again, you want to give your heart, like you're very generous, but Spirit also wants you to make time for this, to see yourself more clearly. Spending time seeing what insights want to come up. Allowing yourself to be given to by yourself just as much as you're giving to other people. So let's get into the tarot. Let's get into the tarot and get into this energy here. Which tarot do we want to use? The Fountain or the Rider-Waite? I feel the Fountain. The Fountain. Because the Fountain, to me, represents, like a cascading, replenishing energy, the fountain of youth, right? Like our inner fountain of energy, our fountain of like the Kundalini, our vitality. The fountain provides. You're a fountain. You are like a cascading fountain for so many people. But you also need to make sure that fountain is giving to you and yourself, and you need to make sure that that fountain has like a source to replenish itself from. So let's get into the tarot. Going deeper into this energy, Spirit. What here does this collective need to know most? Thank you, thank you. I had this realization last night, even more so than normal, that like each of these decks is a living being in itself. That deserves respect, that deserves love, and honestly, like in a lot of ways, these decks themselves even have their boundaries, they have their energy, and we can use and abuse them if we're using them for things that are not really like intentional or aligned. And so that's something that's definitely been on my mind, and that's very relevant to this energy, is treating everything and everyone, including yourself, like it is something to be really honored and to have the utmost gratitude for, and to not take for granted, because that's the humility, right? That's the respect. And it's very easy in our culture to become entitled. The Fountain just came out. To become entitled to like infinite supply, right? To feel entitled to infinite supply through things or through other people. And I feel that this you here could feel like this is what people feel entitled to within you. Maybe subconsciously, not even realizing it. And when we allow ourselves to just be open all the time, when we allow our energy to just be leaking, and for other people to have it all the time, then there's more chance for them to become entitled to that, or to feel like they're being shut out when you finally do put down your boundaries. But that's just a natural human thing, right? You have to teach people how to treat you. So the fountain here is pointing to this, there is infinite source energy, yes, but everybody has access to this from within. Everybody has access to this heart, this central universal heart. And so you are a reflection, yes, you are a reflection of that universal infinite energy to other people, but it should be as like a reflection so that they learn, and that you're a teacher for how they can learn to access that from within themselves, right? Yeah, 8 of Cups on the bottom of the deck reverse. It's like maybe having a hard time being able to walk away from this pattern of overgiving. Having a hard time, like even just walking away in general, walking away from emotional situations that you feel tied up in, or that feel like make your heart heavy. Having a difficult time being able to detach from that, to separate from that. Like especially if it involves other people, because again, you feel so responsible, or maybe because you have such an open heart, you feel like you're the only one who can. You feel like you're the only one who can provide in the situation, or can resolve the situation emotionally. But you know, I actually heard Nicole Kidman say this in a YouTube short, I think last night. She was saying like, you cannot save anybody. We can't actually save or heal anybody else, but we can love them. We can love them tremendously with our whole hearts, and we can be there and hold space for them. But we cannot save people. And sometimes when it comes to people pulling on our energy or having issues in their lives that are not being dealt with, we have to be able to say to them, you know, I love you so much and I'm here for you, but I'm here for you when you're ready to do the work, kind of thing. When you're ready to do the work, and when you are ready to help yourself and to save yourself, I will be here. So I feel this is really important for this collective. Maybe some of you relate to being teachers and leaders, because this is absolutely an energy that I feel often. Maybe you're a public figure, maybe you're somebody who just, again, like I said, you feel like this, in a lot of ways, it's a Leo energy. Like you feel like you're that hearth, the heart of the home, the fire that burns for everybody brightly. So you are a leader in whatever capacity, whether that's through a family, whether that's your coworkers at work, or through your friend group, you know, whoever it is that you're leading, or that you are like a very steadfast member of whatever you're a part of. It's very easy for this to happen, right? If you have people looking to you in any capacity, or if you're helping people in any capacity, this is kind of a slippery slope. This can happen very easily. So yeah, just this is, I feel like, a confirmation for you to be aware of this. If you're feeling this octopus energy, like people are tapping in, right? Like, or crossing boundaries, you know? It's important to, and you don't even have to like out loud. It can be like a silent retreat. Like, okay, I'm taking my energy here and I need to give to myself right now so that I can give back to others in a higher way. A confirmation burp there. There's a, big confirmation burps coming through. Okay, so there's definitely like a dynamic here within you where, going back to this relationship thing, this makeup, breakup, you know, rivalry, like we can build up resentment for people sometimes, or for situations when we feel like we're overgiving and we're not receiving. In whatever relationship, like it doesn't have to be a disastrous relationship, right? Like this doesn't have to be like a narcissistic ex or somebody that you're stuck in a relationship with. It could be, maybe that's why you're here, but it could also just be that there just need to be like lines drawn in the sand kind of thing with somebody, because by setting boundaries, you actually help to improve a relationship. As scary as that can be for you, because if you're used to giving and giving and giving and being that energy source for somebody else, they might not even realize that they're making you feel a certain way, or that you're feeling a certain type of way, or that you're feeling underappreciated, or that maybe they're doing something that's bothering you. Like they don't even always know unless you say it and communicate it. And I feel that sometimes you might not even know what boundaries are being crossed. You just know you feel irritated or you feel resentment. And that's why Spirit's asking you to go into this swan energy, to reflect, to, you know, do some like solo time, some writing, some communication from within yourself, with yourself, about what am I really feeling here? Like, what's bothering me? What's the issue? Because this probably stems from a deeper place. Like, you probably are somebody who might be a little bit motivated by guilt, somebody who's motivated by like a feeling of obligation to do this subconsciously, whether you realize it or not. So as much as you love to give this, as much as you love to give from the heart, it should be coming from a place of, again, this fountain, right? This infinite abundance where you feel like your cup is full, where you feel like you are connected to source and can be a channel for that, versus, you know, coming from an empty cup where you feel like you're being motivated by guilt to give this, or you feel pressured, or you feel like it's the more spiritual, you know, martyr kind of thing to do this. Just watch out for that here. Be careful of that, because it can really be a depleting thing. The World here, yeah, with 4 of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Okay, yeah, take a look at these cards here. So the underlying energy here is definitely retreat. It's time to retreat, time to take back your energy and kind of like protect it for a minute. Clam energy can be really potent here as well, like protecting, you know, the pearl that you have within, because you have a gift here. This energy that you are and what you have to give through your heart, this is a gift. And it's your gift, right? Sometimes you might feel like this gift isn't even yours. It's, how do I explain this, Spirit? Like, this gift feels like you're here to give it. And it's a gift to everybody else but yourself sometimes. I feel Spirit's asking you to give this gift to yourself. Give yourself the world, right? Uh-oh, did I show that card with the naked top? I might get the 18 plus thing here, but whatever. YouTube. Where was I there? Distraction. Giving yourself the world right now, like letting yourself feel a feeling of like completion and fulfillment within yourself. Like, I feel like you have already done so much for other people. You've already completed such a journey within yourself to be here in this place. To be such a provider, to be such a giver. Yeah, like you've given the world is what I get. You have given the world to others, and now Spirit's saying, like, give this world to yourself. This world that you create for other people. This world that you create for other people. This image that other people see of you in the swan, like Spirit wants you to see it now for yourself and to reflect it back to your own self. Because you've reflected it for a lot of others. But it's like Spirit wants you to reflect it to yourself in like quiet, private time. So that's super important. Like, that doesn't have to be, again, either like you being in like these deep meditations or these deep retreats or these deep sabbaticals. It could just be you going out on the town by yourself, like going for a little drive and just dilly-dallying, having fun, like going like window shopping or going on a hike of your own, just going into nature, going and sitting by the water. Just doing something for yourself. Like, whatever you would give other people in this scenario, give it back to yourself. Like, what does it feel like to almost treat yourself like a secondary person or from third person? What does it feel like to give to yourself? This is very like Gemini, like the twins, being able to see yourself from another point of view. Okay? And give to yourself from that point of view. Okay, what else here, Spirit? It's a beautiful energy, though. You have a beautiful, beautiful energy. And you know that. People tell you this all the time, but it's like there's this, this private in your heart, unstruck sound, right? Because the heart also talks about the unstruck sound. There's like a very silent, subtle message there that can only really be felt and heard when you're silent. And it's like it's underneath, maybe even causing just, it's just, you feel this voice telling you to retreat a little bit. If you're resonating with this message. Okay, 5 of Swords and Knight of Pentacles. Okay, interesting. Eight of Wands. Okay, yeah. So I also feel like maybe there's like a lot happening at work for you, maybe in your career and your job. Maybe there's been a situation where something's been really challenging you at work, somebody, a group of people, or just in your physical situation here, in the very real physical world, like something. It's interesting that the Knight of Pentacles, which is very slow moving, came out here, but on the bottom of the deck, the Eight of Wands, which is fast energy, fast communication, incoming downloads and knowledge and quick paced movement here. So what is that, Spirit? Why is it that it's showing on the top here that there's like this slow moving? And Five of Swords here, like this is very sinister energy to me here. Look at that, like this scary kind of demonic looking dude on his stilts, like he's running away with, leaving these people in the dust in the background, and he's just running away with like all the swords. But it's like a House of Cards kind of thing, right? It's like he's taken all of these swords, but he actually doesn't have the capacity to hold them all. It's just that he's been greedy and like taken more than is what his share. Maybe you're dealing with some situation here. Again, this relationship, right? Maybe this is a relationship where somebody's taken from you, where it should have been an equal balance. It should have been like slow and like something you're doing that's like slow and stable towards a goal. Maybe somebody's taken something from you or really blocked that path forward in some way. Maybe this is an aspect of yourself. Maybe like you've gotten caught up in working. Like maybe you've gotten caught up in working so much to the point that you're almost deceiving yourself. Or it's like there's just, you're trying to do too much to the and trying to like sort of, I guess, like win at all costs when it comes to your job, or again, yeah, like trying to handle all these things. But it's like it's become a House of Cards. It's not sustainable, whether this is you or another person. And perhaps this is that some communication is going to come in about this scenario, like unexpected communication, quick communication, relieving communication that takes you out of this energy. Or maybe this is saying it's like you've been moving too fast. Time to slow down and take a look at this. Yeah, maybe it's just like take a look at how you've been almost like gaslighting yourself here. Like how harsh you've been on yourself. Yeah, that's more the energy here. Like take a look at how hard you're being on yourself in this situation. Is that it? I feel like I'm coming up on a block here in the energy. What is this, Spirit? Can you clarify this for me with the Eight of Wands in the back of mine? Clarify what this energy is for me here. Seven of Swords, okay. Knight of Wands reversed. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is Spirit. This is becoming a pattern now. Spirit shows me these exact cards when there is some kind of like relationship manipulation happening or some kind of deception. So yes, somebody or something, that's the octopus, the boundary, somebody or something. I always try to like soften these. I always try to like give people the benefit of the doubt. Like I'm always trying to be like, okay, like let's take a look at this and not jump to conclusions. And then this pops out, man. And I feel like this is you too. It's like you give people the benefit of the doubt. It's like you want to see the best in people and you want situations to play out in a way that is harmonious. Like you want people to be good people. But then it's like, damn. Why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be like that? So, okay, 100%. This group of people, this collective is dealing with people who, and it's giving me like work here specifically or shared resources. Again, a lot of my readings have been relevant, so check out my other messages as well to this. Like there are people just playing you and playing around in your energy that don't deserve to be there, playing games, playing tricks, impulsive, immature, arrogant, like no foresight, just childish people who don't deserve to be in your energy field here. And I feel like you are definitely taking on the brunt of this 100%. And I feel like it's not like you've let this weigh you down. You're not letting this like overload or burden you, but it still feels like an overload within. It's like you're not on the outside, you're not letting this stop you, but it's like it's just this like really annoying heavy energy in the background. And maybe you yourself feel like I shouldn't be so affected by this, right? Because I have, what is this? Yeah, like disgust, rivalry, ramifications here. Like I also got simple. What's the story of Rumpelstiltskin? Maybe that's something to look into. Is that relevant here? Indirect exposure. So, okay. It's just annoying for you, I feel like. And you're annoyed maybe at yourself that you let yourself feel a certain way about this or that you let this energy block you, but it's completely normal. Like these situations happen in life to everybody. They've happened to me as well, where it's like you might feel annoyed or you might be hard on yourself because you're like, why am I allowing this to continue? Or why am I allowing myself to be so open to this? Or why am I allowing this to bother me so much? As if you're like a robot, you know, right? As if you should be some superhuman who can just do anything. But no, like this is the path of growth. This is for your growth. It's all part of it, right? You're learning. Spirits is these blocks and these challenges have been in your path because you're learning. So this right here, this is the challenge then for you right now, is setting boundaries. It's learning to set boundaries. It's learning to sort of detach and protect your heart, your energy. Here we go, confirmation bird coming through. This is all about setting boundaries. And like not overextending yourself and not allowing people to pull on your energy that don't deserve it or that are subconsciously doing so. Like it's really important for you right now to be sovereign here, very sovereign and very in your own magic, in your own time. Because you will realize a lot of this energy, maybe this guilt, this like hard on yourself, critical energy within you is not even really yours. Like these are voices and these are energies being projected onto you by others. I'm definitely getting empaths here, big empath energy. This is being very projected onto you. You might not even know where it's coming from. Like I'll tell y'all, especially as I've been channeling more here on this channel and opening up to collective energy more and doing readings, like I feel things just randomly sometimes. Like sometimes I will randomly feel a really intense emotion hit me. I'm very clairsentient in that way, where I feel things very physically in my body. And I feel with this Gazelle card that you might be as well, where like I will I usually know who it is too. I can sense who it is and where it's coming from, even if I don't know directly what's happening. I'll just feel some random, it's usually centered in one of my chakras, where I'll feel like intense anger, or I'll feel like sadness or grief, or I'll feel like hatred, or maybe I'll feel joy and warmth and gratitude. It just depends. So it's this like lesson you're learning here is about distinguishing and deciphering what energy is yours and in your vessel here versus what is it that's being projected onto you that you're just picking up on like psychically, or that you're picking up on intuitively, I guess we'll say, emotionally. And where is your energy leaking that's even happening without your permission in the first place, right? So yeah, let's get into that. Spirit. What information can we get about that whole realm of this reading? That whole, you know, distinguishing between their energy and the energy of others. What is this, Spirit? Help me. Help us. 5 of Cups reverse. Okay, yeah, an Ace of Wands reverse. Okay, yeah, this is like 100%. Yeah, like it's about not taking on just when you feel an energy, like when you feel a really heavy energy suddenly come on to you, when you feel like a sense of grief or loss or like collective heaviness here, um, that just pops out of nowhere because Ace of Wands, right? Like it's like almost like rude. It's like rude energy. It feels like it just bursts out of onto the scene. And you're just like, where did that just come from? When you feel that kind of energy, or you feel like overwhelmed with a sudden, like emotion, and you're not even around people, or maybe you are around people, and maybe the emotion feels like it's out of left field, and you're like, wait, hold on. That's a sign for you that you're tapping into like you're tapping into other people's energy and maybe not even realizing it. Maybe you're around people who are acting on the surface one way, but if you're feeling this energy suddenly coming over you around them, that's a sign that you're tapping into the real sort of intention under the surface. And that's a superpower. It's literally your sixth sense. Where it's like you might not necessarily act on this. You might not act like, oh, this is a fact, or you might not like be like to this other person, why are you feeling this way towards me? You know, because that can, you know, technically this is still intuitive and we don't necessarily have the facts to back it up, but you can use this, right? You can use this feeling as, I'm pretty like 95% sure that this is coming from this place. I'm gonna act accordingly and be, again, you're the gazelle, like you're vigilant, right? You're sensitive, you're watchful, and that's a good thing. Just rather than letting this become a hypervigilance again because of guilt and because of shame or because of the motivation that you feel pressured, it's about learning like to have a strong center in your heart and to protect your energy here, right? Which you will discover and you will be better at when you're spending more time in your own energy and space and realizing like you can stand on your own 2 feet. When you have that strong center, you'll be able to pick up on this energy but not take it on as your own. And then it's like a superpower. Then you can use it to know how to navigate sometimes without having to like, this is like your typical gut feeling, right? It's your typical feeling like, okay, something's off here. I should remove myself from the situation. Or maybe I should perhaps investigate something a little deeper, right? This is just, it's that intuitive ability. That's what I'm doing here right now with you. Like I'm tapping into and feeling things that I know might not necessarily be mine, but I'm able to translate other people's energy into articulation. This is like the gift. So again, I feel you probably have this gift in some capacity and you're learning to use it. So that's exciting. This is an exciting thing here. So even though it might feel like, oh, Spirit, why am I going through this? Like, why do people take advantage of me? Why do I feel like I have to give so much all the time? It's because you're in the process here of moving from like a psychologically coping mechanism created empath into like an empowered empath, giver, etc., who is now like you're in service of your higher self and in service of spirit rather than other people. So now, rather than feeling like you have to heal or save people all the time, you're gonna learn that this is meant to just, you're meant to just live in your truth. You're meant to just live in your truth and be the truth and allow the reflection of that to bring others to theirs as well. What else here, Spirit? What else wants to come through? The Empress. You're the Empress. Page of Cups. As the underlying energy. Yeah, it's like I feel with this Page of Cups here, it's like that's exact. This is the perfect description of what I was just explaining. Going from this Page of Cups, kind of like childish, naive, very emotional, very empathetic, very open-hearted, but like vulnerable and a bit naive, to the Empress. She is strong. She has her boundaries. She's very emotionally intuitive and intelligent. She's very creative, very powerful. An empath in her own right? Like just power, the most empowered feminine energy. But it's like, she knows that that is her energy and she knows that that is hers to, direct. And she's not just going to give that away to anybody. She's going to use it for Spirit's highest purposes. Because, how do I explain this, Spirit? Like, she knows she's not here to get involved in every single person's dramas and in every single person's, you know, to get tied up in that. She knows she has a bigger purpose here and that she can do a lot more healing on this planet, and she can bring a lot more truth and creativity to this world by protecting her energy and being discerning about where to put that and how to use that. Even though she has the capability, right, to do whatever she wants and to heal, like to help heal any person, again, she knows she can't actually do the work for them. They have to do it for themselves. She can be a reflection. And she can be almost like a, what do we call this? Like, she's a mirror, you know? That is the feminine power, is to be a mirror, for others. So yeah, absolutely. That's just the energy right there. You're becoming the Empress here. That is within you to be. And Empress energy here is something I feel even beyond this reading to really sit with the energy of the Empress. Look up the Empress archetype and what it means. Try to channel the Empress, right? If you're an intuitive, if you're a reader, if you feel you have a sixth sense, right? Channel that energy. Ask for her to come through for you. You might be surprised because she might come in and be like, listen, boundaries. The Divine Feminine. Like, I was just channeling the Divine Feminine. That's really funny that this world card came out, that 18 plus. That reading actually got restricted to 18 plus here on YouTube. But you should go watch that too, because a powerful message from the Divine Feminine, because the Divine Feminine energy, like, she doesn't play around. Like, she's not all just the light feminine, right? Like, nurturing and nourishing and reflective and open-hearted. That's one side of her, but she's also the dark feminine. She's also very much like, you've gone too far. Enough is enough. Boundaries, right? Like, respect me kind of thing. I'm not just here to be your plaything. I'm not just here to be taken advantage of kind of thing. Like, she knows when it's time to be stern, you know, lay down the law. Give a metaphorical spanking to those who want to cross her, right? Seven of Wands reverse, interesting. And the Magician. It's like, by not having boundaries, by not standing your ground here, it blocks you from being able to manifest. It blocks you from being able to create in your highest potential, in your highest power, the balance of the four elements, right? That's what the Magician is. The Magician is the balance between earth, air, fire, and water. All of those elements, when they're in balance, you know, that's where we are able to close up those energy leaks. That's where we're able to feel our power come back to us, because we know how to tap into whatever energy we need to tap into and adapt to for the situation at hand. Sometimes we need to be very solid and practical in the earth. Sometimes we need to be intuitive and emotional and to be a little more surrendered and a little more boundaryless with water. Sometimes we need fire. Sometimes we need passion. We need confidence. We need to have a strong sense of self, a like unwavering sort of confidence and faith in ourselves, and an ability to sort of, you know, push back a little bit and to be a little burning and to make change. And then there's sometimes where we need air. We need that heart. We need that heart and that mind, that intellect, the communication, seeing things from a bird's eye view, etc. So that's the Magician, and he's able to tap into whatever tool he needs to manifest. This is how we gain control over our reality. But yes, having porous boundaries, not being able to stand up and hold, like, look at him, he's holding his ground. Like, all these people are wanting and vying for his attention, but he has his one, and he's like, no. In love, no. No. Like, I will get to things when I get to things. I will get to you when I get to you. You are not entitled to my energy, right? That's the vibe here. So that you can do your magic. This is what's needed. Otherwise, yeah, you can't be the cure. You can't be the solution to the problem if you're allowing the problem and you're allowing things to like murk up your channel, right? And murk up your energy. You have to have firm boundaries. You might be able to tap into that for a moment, but be able to come back to yourself, to ground, to cut the cords. And again, create space for yourself. Like there's a big, strong energy here of really creating space and time to just be with yourself, like doing nothing, not being online, not scrolling, not even watching readings like this, right? Just being in your own space. No distractions, to get in touch with your energy. What does your energy, when it's clear, feel like, and how will you know when that's being crossed? The Emperor. Six of Swords reverse. Six of Cups reverse. Okay, what is this here? Let's take a look. Six of Cups reverse, the Hanged Man reverse, the Emperor. Six of Swords reverse. Seven of Cups. Okay, multiple messages are just coming through. The first one I'm getting is that some of you are afraid of stepping into your masculine energy. You're afraid of moving forward in your masculine energy, tapping into that power. That's also me, 100%. I'm still working on my masculine energy as well. But the Emperor, right, he lays down the law. He's the counterpart to the Empress here. So just as much as the Empress is the divine feminine, you know, she's very reflective, she's creative, she's abundant, she's the provider of all things, you know, she's the creatrix, but she has firm boundaries. This is the masculine counterpart. He himself is a creator of structure. He creates the boundaries. He creates like Aries energy, right? Like he is unapologetic in his structuring, his organization. He calls things how they are. He lays down the law, but his job is to protect and to uphold, right? Protect, uphold, and make a firm foundation so that the feminine, the Empress, is able to create and be in her abode. So this is what you need to do for yourself is what I'm seeing, but it's like you're afraid. You're afraid. And I feel that there's something from childhood here with the Six of Cups and the Hanged Man reverse. There's some kind of skewed perspective you have from childhood. There's a skewed perspective. Somebody taught you that it's wrong to be in this Emperor energy. Someone taught you that you're not allowed to stand up for yourself. Someone taught you that it's unsafe to speak up or to do what you want to do. Someone taught you that, again, like you have to be this just open gazelle, golden egg, available to people all the time. This is the story of the empath, right? Empaths, this happens where somehow, usually the empath had some form of like a narcissistic energy in their childhood that made them an extension of themselves and made them somebody who needed to like dote on their needs at all times. So you learn not to have a sense of self. You learn not to have this. You learned that this other person or this other energy was allowed to have this, but you weren't, and you were there for this energy versus being able to tap into this energy within yourself. So throughout life, you have projected your own sense of self, your own sense of boundaries, your own sense of like healthy masculine energy. You've projected that like onto other people. And perhaps if this is a relationship issue that was coming up here in the beginning, this is why you're in relationships with narcissistic energies or people who don't treat you properly, or even if you are in a healthy relationship, you feel resentments or you feel like your needs aren't being met. It's because you're always projecting your own healthy masculine onto someone else and expecting them to hold that for you or meet your needs somehow, because it's like, how do I explain this psychological dynamic here? You've always given this up for other people, so you don't feel like you get to have it yourself. And that causes like obviously deep resentment because you do have needs. You do have this part of yourself. It's stuffed down. And it wants to come out, like it's screaming at you, but you're afraid of letting it out because of, again, like whatever skewed perspective or manipulation, depending, everyone, it's on a spectrum for everyone, depending on like the subtle messaging you were given in childhood that taught you this was not safe. It was not safe to allow this side of you to come out, that you had to give this up for other people. And kind of fall into this like overly feminine is what I'm getting here. This like overly feminine energy where you're just allowing that to just be kind of like taken advantage of. Consciously and subconsciously, I'm getting here. And it's cast you into this sea of confusion of just so many emotions all over the place, like not knowing where to go, what to do. Like, again, this energy gives me like having a hard time finding that center, having like a sense of self, because that sense of self lies in going into the Emperor. Your sense of self here has been so tied up in giving and over giving and being empathic, and in pleasing other people, being a people pleaser, that when people are upset with you or when things don't go your way, it's like you take this on as like such a failure on yourself, and that just, it perpetuates more guilt, and then you become this octopus where it's like you reach your tentacles out further, allow people to reach their tentacles into you further, and you just get enmeshed in more situations, and it's just this self-perpetuating cycle that just never ends. And I feel it in my heart right now, and it's just like, this is your energy here, the Emperor and the Empress. So both of these energies, call on your inner Emperor, call on your inner Empress, these like higher, most developed versions of the masculine and the feminine within yourself, to recognize like what these energies feel like. A moment of silence. You need a moment of silence to find this, to see this within yourself. And whatever difficult or unhealthy or off feeling, confirmation verb coming through, relationship dynamics you're part of right now will reveal themselves more clearly to you, and you will be able to know how to deal with these more clearly when you work with this in yourself. This is a super like empowering reading for you to go on this path, to reclaim this, reclaim these boundaries, reclaim your inner Emperor and Empress, period. All right, I'm gonna get a closing message for you because, yeah, feels like it's time. What's the closing message for this collective here, Spirit, that can send them off with a feeling of release or closure, or just something to sit with? Something that'll help them to close their energy field to energies that are not theirs, that they're not giving permission to, so that they can be of more service and abundance, infinite fountain to themselves and to those that they choose to give to, where there's reciprocal energy, right? Fearless expression, one step ahead is all you need. The now. Fill your cup with sacred giggles. Okay. So this is definitely like fearless expression and one step ahead is all you need. I just had so many cards coming under this, but this is too much here. Yeah. Boundaries, too many, Spirit. Too much energy for me to look into here. This is for collective, okay? So fearless expression, it's time for you to really express your boundaries. Communicate them clearly. Even if that's just with yourself. Like, even last night, I had this moment where I was out and I was like, just thinking about this, and I had to express for myself and create a mantra for myself, boundaries, because I felt my energy getting a little bit like over encroached upon. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna create a mantra for myself. And even just doing that really set my motion or my energy back into a clear motion for me that felt like clear and good. Because sometimes it's like you're crossing your own boundaries within and you're not even realizing it. It's like, again, going back to that, like gaslighting yourself, making yourself feel guilty. But it's like, no, like it's okay to have firm boundaries. And one step ahead is all you need. It's not about necessarily coming in and laying down the law all at once, right? Like, everybody respect me now. Everybody, like, this is the way it is now, right? Because that can start to get into maybe like an overly dominating Emperor energy. But it's about one step at a time. Like, what feels like the natural step here in maybe taking back your power, taking back your sovereignty, really, making a firm, okay, I'm going to do this for this person, but like no more, or maybe I'm only going to do this for this person at this time, or maybe I'm only going to give a certain amount of time to this person. I'm not going to take on that extra like paperwork that person put on my desk. I'm not going to just allow that thing to slide again that person just never does, even though they're supposed to be doing it, and I always just get left with it, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, or like for that example, that notification I got earlier, somebody asking me to go do something. It's like if you're already feeling like you were just wanting to maybe settle down and just watch a show, or settle down and just be in your own energy, and then somebody asks you and you're feeling that guilt to go, be like, no, you know what? It's okay for me to say no right now, because my intuition and my body, my energy is asking for me to take care of myself right now. And when I replenish myself, I'll be able to show up in my relationships in a much more balanced way. And then the quality of those relationships will reflect that. So, fearless expression, one step ahead is all you need. Don't be afraid to set your boundaries, one step at a time. And fill your cup with sacred giggles. It's also like, don't take this so seriously either. Like, it doesn't have to be such a serious thing. I feel like when we hear about boundaries, it always feels so serious. It feels like, oh, I have to like seriously come in and like cut somebody's head off, kind of thing. And like, it has to be like a cut off. You know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be that. Maybe in some scenarios it does if it's gotten too far. For self-preservation, but most of the time this isn't something that needs to be so serious or so dramatic. It can just be like you know what I mean. You'll know what that means for you in your situation. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be softer, and it's okay to giggle. It's okay to still be having fun. It's okay to still have relationships with all these people, right? It's just, maybe it just needs to be like a little like more soft, and it doesn't have to be like this harsh enforcement, just like a soft enforcement, like, hey, you know what, I'm kind of feeling this way about this thing right now, maybe we just, and set the tone. Like, don't ask for permission, set the tone, right? Like, maybe we just do it this way because I need this time, and I just feel, you know, it's like, you can just play around with it, you know, like, it doesn't have to be this harsh thing. Maybe it does, but I'm not gonna put words in your mouth. You know what I mean. So that's your reading. I hope this has helped. I love your energy. It's so beautiful, and I relate to it so very much. I needed this reading as well tonight. So Spirit is giving all of us right now a gift through each other, through our hearts, and through the sacred source heart. So with that, I'm gonna leave you there. Have a beautiful evening, morning, day, wherever you are. Thank you again for all of your support on this channel. You've been growing by the thousands. It's incredible to me. I cannot believe it. Let's just keep going, and let's just keep doing our thing. All right, I love you lots. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.